Hi, and welcome to the 10 Tampa Bay News Week in Review, your essential weekly news roundup. I'm Dave Wagner. Over the next 30 minutes, we're bringing you important and in-depth stories from across Tampa Bay. The stories you won't find anywhere else. This week, a cold snap blanketed Tampa Bay with freezing to near freezing temperatures. Several churches and organizations opened their doors to those in need of warmth and shelter. On Monday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Miguel Octavio went to the Unitarian Universalist Church in St. Pete to see the preparations.
That makes me very happy.
A long night is ahead for Sabina von Aulook.
As rewarding as it is, a full night is difficult to do.
But she wouldn't have it any other way.
It's love, and we look out for each other, and that's what we do.
Soon, Sabina will be at the Unitarian Universalist Church in St. Pete, helping people find warmth as temperatures drop over the next several days.
We have such motivated, dedicated volunteers. It's a labor of love.
She spent the last few hours making sure the shelter is ready to open. Over the last few years, 10 Tampa Bay News has spoken to people in need when wintry weather hits.
I pray. That's really like the only thing I can think to do.
Sabina says she's seeing new faces week after week.
Every Friday, there are new people coming through that gate.
Just more than a year ago, Florida's law banning unsheltered people from sleeping on sidewalks, parks, and other public spaces took effect, directing them instead to temporary shelters. Supporters say it improves safety and connects people with help, but critics argue it's ineffective.
I don't believe this is our best selves.
As Sabina prepares to welcome people inside, her message is simple: help how you can.
Each of us can do one thing, and it doesn't have to be serving unsheltered people, but do one thing. Do the one thing you can to make this world a better place.
And that was Miguel Octavio reporting there. Volunteers told him they were able to help bring people to other shelters when it reached capacity. In Pinellas County, free bus rides were provided to and from shelters. Well, the chilly temperatures this week also impacted outdoor New Year's Eve celebrations. Newport Richey expected 15,000 people to attend the second annual New Year's Eve ball drop, an increase of 5,000 over 2024. On Tuesday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Annie Krall showed us the plans.
Every year, people's New Year's resolutions include trying to be healthier or simply trying to be happier. But if you're a Newport Richey business owner and developer planning a New Year's Eve ball drop like Carl Mowry, your resolutions are a little different.
I'm just looking for change, looking for growth in downtown.
The ball dropping from 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday until midnight with a frigid backdrop. But festivities downtown will run from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. on January 1st.
Streets get closed down at 2. By 5 o'clock, we have a band coming on, and then 6 o'clock, things really start going.
The forecasted low 50s, high 40s, not freezing out the live music, DJ, and stilt walkers along Grand Boulevard near Montana Avenue.
I think that also makes it the time of year. It makes it a little bit more fun. You know, the reason why I did the ball drop is I like the New York City vibe. I'm from New York, and I think it will definitely make it feel more New Year's Eve-ish with the cold.
But even before the new year, people were hitting their exercise goal and walking, all bundled up in Newport Richey's Robert K. Reese Memorial Park.
This is the first time since we've been down here that we've worn thermal underwear.
Ann and Mike DeLuca live about 30 minutes inland and moved in October from New Jersey to be closer to their daughter and grandchildren.
Being down here, we've rarely had jackets on and definitely thermal underwear.
Telling us what kind of mentality they want to bring into 2026.
I think everybody needs to just slow down, think about where they are, where they're going, the needs of themselves and their families and friends and people around them. Just show kindness.
And Tampa Bay wasn't alone when it came to winter weather. All the snow and cold temperatures caused travel delays across the country. This is a time lapse of FlightAware's misery map right here. You can see the red growing throughout Monday. The weather up north caused a ripple effect on flights in and out of Tampa International Airport. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst showed you how travelers dealt with the delays and cancellations.
A busy holiday travel schedule combined with winter storms up north light up the departure and arrival boards like a Christmas tree.
So far it's an hour.
Harlan Meeks is patiently waiting for his son and daughter-in-law to come in from Chicago.
There's snow blowing all across the road when they were driving to the airport.
He says he doesn't mind the wait, considering how long it's been since he's seen them.
When was the last time you saw him?
4 years ago. Yeah, when he got out of the military. Yeah, so
And now you gotta wait just an hour longer.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
While some wait for arrivals.
But it was cozy. It's how a Christmas should be.
This family, originally from Hungary, said tearful goodbyes.
We usually spend the Christmas together. Yeah. But it's hard spending everything every other day apart. So.
As for what you need to get through one of the more than 200 flight delays today.
Buy sweets.
Buy candy.
Candy.
But for Anna Laverne, every minute counts tonight, waiting for her aunt to come in.
She's been delayed already 3 times. From Chicago to Texas, and from Texas now, I don't know what time she'll be in.
So they both can give a different kind of tearful goodbye to her mother in the hospital.
She only has a couple of hours to live. And I'm just hoping and praying that I can get my aunt to the hospital in time to at least say goodbye.
And that was Chris Hurst reporting. Drought conditions meant several counties across the Tampa Bay area enforced burn bans during the New Year's celebrations. That meant setting off fireworks in some places was illegal. On Tuesday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Glasser explained which counties were affected and why fire officials urge caution.
Well, because of our recent drought conditions, some counties in the Tampa Bay area still have a burn ban in place. That means you can buy fireworks, but in some spots, even on New Year's Eve, it's going to be illegal to fire them off this year.
We're going to shoot all these off.
Travis Rockney says he's willing to chance it, even though there's a burn ban in Polk County. He plans to light off dozens of fireworks.
I've been doing it since I was a kid. My parents did fireworks ever since I was little, so carrying on the tradition with my kids.
A tradition he says he isn't willing to give up this year, despite the risks.
There's always a chance. You can't say there's not a chance, but if you take all the precautions and you're very careful with what you're doing, you can definitely do it safely.
It does concerns me.
Fire officials hope Rockney and others will reconsider. Conditions are so dry, they say, that even a small spark could ignite a disaster.
The last couple of years, we've responded to maybe over 3,700 fires, and probably a good 100 of them was related to fireworks.
Hillsborough County just lifted its burn ban, so fireworks are legal there this New Year's Eve. But in counties like Polk, Citrus, Highland, Sarasota, and Manatee, the burn bans are still active.
And what was a good time has now become a tragic time.
Officials say they also see the number of garbage truck fires increase as people don't properly dispose of spent fireworks or duds.
The fireworks on top of whatever else is placed in those bins could quickly start a fire.
I'm always careful. I got 10 acres. I definitely don't want to burn down my own property. So.
A word of warning to those who risk ignoring the burn ban, depending upon the county and the severity of the violation. You could face fines of up to $500, 60 days in jail, and you could be held civilly liable for any damages that occur as a result. In Tampa, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay News.
And despite warnings like that one, fireworks caused at least 4 fires during New Year's Eve celebrations. 3 happened in Hillsborough County, destroying 2 homes in Riverview and burning another in Palm River. In Pinellas County, fireworks started a fire in Clearwater. Nobody was injured there, but fire crews say the damage escalated quickly. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Kristen Barbarisi took you to the scene of those fires on New Year's Day.
Policemen knock on our window. I guess they go around. The doorbell, we didn't hear the doorbell.
That knock came as flames were already tearing through Victor Tien's neighbor's home on Mile Marsh Drive. Ali Matala lives nearby and recorded this video as the fire threatened to jump from one home to the next.
Something very concerning. That's something we should all be learning from, because I saw people using these fireworks last night, and some people, they are not thinking about safety.
Aerial footage shows the aftermath. The home destroyed, ash and debris covering the neighborhood. Victor's home was damaged as firefighters worked to stop the spread. Broken windows, water inside, and ash throughout the house.
That's the sad part about how quickly things turn. Hearing no one is hurt, that's the relief part.
Across Riverview, another fireworks fire broke out on Summerview Circle, also destroying that home. Firefighters say the speed these fires spread is what makes them dangerous. They can double in size every 2 minutes.
You know, the homeowner trying to do the right thing, get the fireworks off the street, off the driveway, went to go throw them away. They might have cooled them, but didn't do so enough. And then when they stowed them in a garbage can or in the garage or even next to their house, they were hot enough to start a fire.
Fire officials say nights like this are a reminder that fireworks are unpredictable and the damage can happen faster than anyone expects.
It won't happen to me. It can, and it did.
And that was Kristen Barbarisi reporting. Fire crews say the best way to prevent fires like these is to completely soak fireworks before throwing them away and to let them sit in water longer than you think is necessary. The mother of a man killed with his fiancée the day after Christmas shared his story Tuesday night in hopes of saving lives. Garrison Grafley and Maya Brannon died when troopers say a suspected drunk driver drove into oncoming traffic and hit a tractor trailer. The trailer then hit the couple's pickup truck head on. Brenda told 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst people should remember that drinking and driving can easily take a life.
Garrison was extremely funny and unique.
Garrison Gravley's mom wants you to know him for how he lived.
He loved to play the guitar, and he actually had a voice, but you couldn't never get him to sing for you. I mean, I tried to catch him a few times off guard, but he always knew that Mama was there.
Not just for how he died.
Maya and him were like, they were like two peas in a pod.
Killed with his fiancée, Maya, in a chain reaction crash the day after Christmas as the couple headed from Winter Haven to Georgia to see her family. Troopers say Sinarin Hardeo caused the collision by driving drunk.
This man was drunk driving, hit a semi. The semi hit my son and Maya head on, and from what I was told, they died instantly.
Highway Patrol and AAA say New Year's Eve and early into New Year's Day is the most dangerous time of year on the roads.
Have a plan in place before you party. That means identifying a designated driver or downloading that ride-sharing app on your phone.
As she plans a celebration of life, she pleads for people to think twice, especially this week, before endangering others on the road.
Every time you get behind the wheel with alcohol in you, you're putting yourself at risk to take away someone else's love, someone else's life, someone else's heart.
So what happened to her doesn't happen to another family.
They truly loved each other.
And that was Chris Hurst reporting there. The ReliaQuest Bowl took place this week with Iowa beating Vanderbilt 34-27. Thousands of fans enjoyed the event surrounding the bowl, including the parade on Tuesday. And 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Kristen Barbarisi showed you how police helped the city balance the bowl celebration with safety.
As people gather along 7th Avenue, city leaders say today's ReliaQuest Bowl parade is kicking off a busy few days in Ybor City, and prepping was familiar territory.
We have a pretty strong history of doing parades in Tampa.
That planning includes road closures and crowd control throughout the historic district.
We'll see a variety of different traffic control and crowd control devices, of course, to make sure that that route is safe for the participants and for the viewers along 7th Avenue.
Police say safety planning doesn't stop with the parade, especially with New Year's Eve just one day away.
We have a good barricade barrier plan that we will be using for all of our events.
For businesses along the route, the crowds are expected and they are ready.
We have to prepare, make sure we have plenty of stock on hand, make sure we're staffed up.
With visitors in town for the bowl game and the holiday, Crawford says he looks forward to it and is confident in the city's safety plans.
Everyone wants to bring in a new year and get ready to start 2026 on the right foot. And, everyone's having a great time. And as long as everyone's being responsible and having a good time, then that's what we're here for.
Visitors say stopping by Ybor was an easy choice while in town.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful city.
Crawford says that's because despite recent issues, Ybor's identity remains unchanged.
Ybor is just super resilient, and the challenges don't reflect on the neighborhood.
And that was Kristen Barbarisi reporting there. On Thursday, significant changes went into effect for SNAP recipients. The Trump administration rolled out a new initiative called Make America Healthy Again. As part of that effort, several states will no longer allow SNAP benefits to be used to purchase certain items. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Angelicia Bruton explains what these changes could mean for families here in Florida.
In just a few months, families will no longer be able to use their SNAP benefits to buy what some consider to be junk food. Many families are telling me the government shouldn't be deciding what's best for their households.
I don't understand why you would take away something that's not hindering anybody.
Starting today, the change will affect families in about 5 states. In Florida, it will take effect on April 20th.
So my seniors get food stamps and they're diabetic and they need that piece of candy for their sugar. Like, they're not thinking about the whole picture.
Many families say this doesn't feel like guidance, but an overstep.
I should be able to go buy me a Snicker bar, along with my ground beef. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me. I should keep it the way it is. You like snacks? Yeah. Baby likes snacks.
Under the new rules, SNAP benefits can no longer be used to purchase items such as soda, energy drinks, candy, and ultra-processed prepared desserts, including packaged cakes and certain snack foods.
We need Publix cakes on ABC.
The Florida Department of Children and Families says the update is intended to better align SNAP with its mission to help low-income households get access to a more nutritious diet to help alleviate hunger and combat malnutrition.
Healthy foods are more expensive. You take the snacks out, lower down the healthy foods. Then we call it even.
Some families say it doesn't matter how light your cart looks.
A gallon of milk, almost $5-6. Eggs.
Right now, it feels like the cost
I spent almost 100 and something.
are only growing.
It's too high now, but you gotta survive. You gotta feed your kids. You gotta eat. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Angelicia Bruton, 10 Tampa Bay News.
2025 ended with a record number of executions in Florida, which earned support and backlash. Governor Ron DeSantis says the increase brings closure to victims' families, including those from our area. On Tuesday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Miguel Octavio shared why Florida is leading the nation in executions last year.
Well, just more than a week ago, the state of Florida saw its 19th person put to death this year, the most recorded in decades. One report says the state of Florida accounts for 40% of all executions nationwide this year.
Higher numbers spurred debate.
Some of these crimes were committed in the 80s.
The governor, though, says some executions were overdue. Delays from the pandemic and lengthy reviews with no room for appeals prompted the closure he says some families waited for.
Justice delayed is justice denied. And so I felt that I owed it to them to make sure that this ran very smoothly and promptly.
This includes local cases like the execution of David Pittman. In 1990, he killed the sister of his estranged wife and their parents in Mulberry. 10 Tampa Bay News went to the house he also burned after the murders. Loved ones say the execution brought some peace.
Today has brought a measure of closure to this tragic event 35 years ago. Justice has been served.
Still, critics say other alternatives are needed.
Many of them are so wounded they can't be out among us. But he needs to stop wasting our money on the death penalty.
Protesters cite factors like mental illness, low IQ, or previous abuse inmates receive too. But state officials say they're enforcing the law.
We will make sure that somebody has exhausted all of their legal appeals before we move forward.
In St. Pete, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Right now, 251 people remain on death row in Florida, the second most in the nation. One of those inmates has been there since 1977 for kidnapping and killing his girlfriend's 8-year-old daughter. On Friday, police took 2 people into custody in a case that began with these sick puppies dumped at a Largo park. Police say their investigation uncovered illegal breeding, unsafe living conditions, and evidence of animal cruelty tied to multiple dogs. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Kristen Barbarisi spoke to detectives about how they built this case and what comes next.
It was deplorable, unlivable for even a human.
No electricity, no running water.
There was urine and feces everywhere.
That's how investigators describe the home of the 2 suspects accused of dumping sick puppies at Taylor Park. 42-year-old Marianne Gamble and 43-year-old Fred Gamble, now each facing 12 felony counts of animal cruelty, 1 count for every dog involved in the case. Police say the couple had been illegally breeding dogs and new puppies in their care were sick and dying even after being sold.
There were a lot of people involved on scene today from all different units that helped me, piece it all together.
As officers made the arrest, they also discovered 4 additional adult male dogs, sick, flea-covered, and in need of immediate care. Skyway Animal Hospital and Paulicious Poochie Pet Rescue stepped in again, taking those dogs, just like they did with the original group.
I'm happy that the dogs are safe. That was my main goal today.
For the rescue that's been caring for the animals, the arrests bring relief.
It's a complete relief, and then just to get justice for Frosty and then all the other pups that were dumped and lives that were lost prior to that is huge. It's a great feeling.
The 11 surviving dogs from the original case, 9 puppies and their 2 mothers, have now fully recovered, started getting vaccinations, and will soon be placed into forever homes. But police say this case only moved forward because of what happened to one puppy, Frosty, who died despite efforts to save him. He had parvo and showed signs of abuse, including a broken leg, dislocated jaw, and internal injuries.
I got more details today that I won't share about what he went through in that house, and had that not happened, none of this would have been resolved. So Frosty is the hero.
Investigators say their work isn't finished.
I'm not done. There's a ton of work still to be done just to make sure that it sticks.
For the rescue, the goal is now accountability and making sure Frosty's death means something.
What makes me sick is that he fought so hard and that he didn't get a chance to be running around with everybody else, but now we're going to get justice for him and for all the dogs that died prior.
And that was Kristen Barbarisi reporting. Renters at a Hyde Park condo complex reached out to 10 Tampa Bay News this week, saying their packages keep getting stolen. They shared this Ring camera video showing the people they say are taking packages left in a hallway by mailboxes, but there's no camera pointed in that direction. As 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst shows you now, they're calling on property management to step in, saying they aren't doing enough to stop the thefts.
And then it became an avalanche.
Anthony Cobb says the holiday season wasn't very merry at Hyde Park Place.
And with that Christmas rush of like everyone getting packages and more packages.
He says he became a victim a couple weeks ago.
I had 2 Lululemon pants. They were worth $300, but again, like there's some other people. One person has had like $900 stolen. Another $3,000.
He says this hallway next to the mailboxes is the scene of the crimes, with packages left every day by delivery drivers on this old bookcase tossed by a resident. It's just out of view of the closest camera that shows multiple people, he says, are putting boxes in trash bags and walking off.
You know, there's a lot of Amazon drivers who deliver here at 4 a.m. in the morning. We can be vigilant as residents and still not be awake at 4 a.m. in the morning when a package comes.
The complex is mostly owned by landlords who rent out the condos to tenants. Other renters were hesitant to go on camera, but say the COA and property manager are slow to appreciate their frustration.
The tenant goes to the property management representative, who is here sometimes during the week, and complains to him, and then he sends out a general email that says, hey, you should be more careful.
That email sent 2 days ago says the COA has no responsibility for theft and that residents should schedule deliveries for when they'll be home or consider using an off-site locker.
If you're managing the property, monitor the property maybe.
That was Chris Hurst reporting. Tenants think someone has the gate codes to get in because they are widely shared by food and other delivery drivers, which is why they have suggested the office take in deliveries. Management hasn't taken them up on that idea. After a year of being fare-free, Hart's busiest bus route is about to see a change in Tampa. Starting Monday, Route 1 riders will once again have to pay, ending a city-funded pilot program that dramatically boosted ridership and reliability. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Glasser takes a closer look at what is changing and what's staying the same.
Well, for the past year, riders on Hart's Route 1, which runs from downtown Tampa all the way out to the USF area, have been able to hop on without paying a fare, a city-funded subsidy that's about to go away. The results were hard to miss. Hart says ridership on Route 1 jumped more than 45%, with more than 1.4 million trips, making it one of the most heavily used bus routes in the region.
When you're in this situation, every penny counts.
For many riders like Eddie Perez, Route 1 isn't optional, it's essential. The free fare program was a big help.
I mean, there's been times where I go into the bus and it's completely full, You know, people that carry their stuff, people that do groceries, they got all their bags.
City leaders narrowly voted to fund the pilot using more than $1.5 million in parking revenue, arguing the free fares could help families stretch thin by rising housing costs.
$80 can help with your light bill. $80 for a lot of families is a lot of money.
If say you $4 a day, you work 5 days a week, that does help out a lot.
Still, some riders and even drivers say a challenge for the free fare was an increase in unhoused people, some with behavioral issues, riding the buses all day long. An issue they hope would be addressed if the free fare ever returns.
You can't control what other people do, you can only control what you do, so there's always going to be good and bad wherever you go.
You know, it makes a difference because we also need to eat, and there's, you know, hygiene supplies and all of that, and that money I could have used for something else.
Hart says they did a survey and found that more than 80% of riders plan to stick with Route 1 even as fares return. To help minimize costs, Hart is urging riders to use flamingo fares, which cap how much you pay, making sure that frequent riders don't spend more than the lowest possible fare. In Tampa, Eric Lasser, 10 Tampa Bay News.
On Friday, some Tampa Bay Buccaneers made a difference off the field by putting local single mothers behind the wheel of new cars. It was a big surprise for those moms as the Bucs linebackers teamed up with Wheels for Success and Metropolitan Ministries. 10 Tampa Bay photojournalist Angela Clooney shows you how these wheels are already changing lives.
3, 2, 1.
It's nice to be presented with a brand new car.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. No doubt.
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm so excited.
I really can't believe this is happening. It just feels surreal. Like I'm just overjoyed. It sounds brand new. It sounds brand new.
It means a lot. It's a blessing. It means I could get to my kids in a timely manner, just to sit down and have dinner with them instead of getting home 2 hours after work and it's 9, 10 o'clock and starting back over at 5 a.m. the next day. So this will definitely help out. I don't have to haul groceries on the bus just to feed the kids. So it's a truly blessing.
Thanks God for everything.
I'm out in the community helping seniors, doing community events, you know, just being a healthcare advocate for seniors. And it's been really hard to do that on the bus because I have marketing materials and different things I have to bring to my events. And I couldn't carry all that stuff on the bus or walking. So now this gives me freedom to do what I love.
Women going through hard times, you know what I'm saying, like with kids and stuff like that, and having a hard time with transportation. And you know, with this gift, you know, make their life a little easier. Every time you do have a car, it makes life easier, and we definitely are proud of being able to contribute to that.
1, 2, 3.
New car.
Very exciting there. Robotic animals are now in the center ring of the most famous circus around. Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey's Greatest Show on Earth held its opening night in downtown Tampa on Friday. As 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Angelicia Bruton shows you, this new production is expected to give fans a new vision of the circus.
There's something for everyone in this show, and that's what I really love about it. It's really modern, but, you know, it touches every generation.
Performers like Wesley Williams say to expect the unexpected.
We have a crisscrossing trapeze act. We have a human rocket that shoots across the arena, 110 feet. I ride a brand new unicycle, 25 wheels stacked on top of each other, 34 feet in the air.
And in the center ring, fans will be part of a new interactive audience experience.
Being in the arena with the audience, that's what makes it easy. The energy of the audience that they give us brings us to life, and they're really the life of the party.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum & Bailey call it a fresh take on a classic tradition without animals. The group took a break for a couple of years after several animal activists spoke out against circuses using animals, and revamped in 2023.
Ringling is the circus that everyone knows and loves throughout their entire childhood, and it has evolved over the years.
Sarasota has been, since the late 1920s, a place that people would come specifically for the circus.
Robert Collins is a tour guide for Discover Sarasota. He says the circus is a staple for Tampa Bay.
In fact, February of this year will be the 100th anniversary of the opening of the John Ringling Causeway.
Collins believes the circus community is evolving, but definitely here to stay.
Obviously, times have changed, but the history is there, the legends are there.
Quite a show, still is. And thank you for watching this Week in Review. Be sure to keep it right here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus for the latest information that impacts your life.